A historic first under Pope Leo XIV. Pope Leo XIV, elected in May after the passing of Pope Francis, inherits one of the Catholic Church's most sensitive diplomatic tightropes, the 2018 Vatican-China agreement. Many wondered if he would abandon it to appease conservative critics or hold the fragile line for dialogue. By appointing Bishop Joseph Lin Yuntuan under this accord, Leo sends a clear message: this pope intends continuity, not rupture. But at what cost? Does this strengthen the Church's witness in China, or sacrifice its prophetic voice? Please drop a comment, subscribe, like, follow and share our video. Who is Joseph Lin Yuntuan? Joseph Lin's life embodies the cost of quiet fidelity. Born in 1952 in Fujian province, he was ordained in a turbulent China still hostile to Christianity. He taught seminarians, managed parish finances, and led the faithful through decades of tight government oversight. His secret consecration as bishop in 2017, before Rome recognized him publicly, signals the hidden heroism that defines China's underground church. How do such silent pastors shepherd millions under watchful eyes? Drop your comment. 1. The Secret Church Beneath Red Lanterns. It was 1984. The city of Fuzhou bustled with post-Maoist industrial noise, bicycles swerving through narrow streets, and slogans in red paint on concrete walls proclaiming loyalty to the Communist Party. But beneath the sounds of the market and the pounding of hammers, a quieter sound echoed, whispered prayers in the underground chapel of St. Mary's Parish, hidden in the back room of an old herbal shop. A young man knelt in silence. His name, Joseph Lin Yuntuan. His vocation, priesthood. His reality, constant danger. When the bell tolled 3 times, once for Christ, once for Mary, once for silence, he stood and kissed the crucifix. Ordained in the shadows, taught in secret seminaries, Lin served a church that could never speak its name aloud. 2. Rome watches, China waits. Fast forward to June 2025. In the Apostolic Palace in Rome, Pope Leo XIV sits at his wooden desk, his face contemplative. On the table lie folders from every continent, but one glows with tension: Fuzhou Diocese. Across the globe, 12 million Chinese Catholics live under a strange duality: one church is allowed and controlled, the other is persecuted but faithful to Rome. The Pope, still early in his reign, must make a decision that will echo for generations. Should he recognize Joseph Lin Yuntuan, the underground bishop of Fuzhou, as a legitimate auxiliary bishop under the Vatican-China deal? Beside him, Cardinal Sandro Bellotti, the Secretary of State, offers counsel. Cardinal Bellotti, Holy Father, some in the Curia will say this emboldens Beijing. But others believe it opens the path for dialogue. Pope Leo XIV, I know. But it's not politics we're discussing. It's a shepherd, one who has carried the cross in silence for 40 years. The time for shadows must end. 3. A bishop without a cathedral. In the narrow alleys of Fujian, Bishop Joseph Lin still walks humbly among the people. He visits the sick. He baptizes newborns. He remembers their names. He has no official office. No red hat. No public recognition. But he has something else: the trust of his people. Old villagers call him Mu Qin, the shepherd. Young priests call him Lao Shi, the teacher. The authorities call him illegal. But Rome, at last, calls him bishop. 4. The Vatican's quiet thunder. On June 5, the Vatican issues a statement. It is only a few paragraphs, but its weight is historic. His Holiness Pope Leo XIV has appointed Monsignor Joseph Lin Yuntuan as auxiliary bishop of the Archdiocese of Fuzhou. The next day, a ripple spreads, from Rome to Hong Kong, from seminaries to underground bunkers where Mass is whispered in candlelight. Chinese state authorities do something unexpected. They acknowledge the appointment. This act, seemingly simple, stuns observers. It's the first time in years both Rome and Beijing have publicly agreed on a bishop. No secret arrests. No sudden reassignments. Just quiet recognition. Vatican diplomat Monsignor Roberto Valenzi says. This is not merely an appointment. It is a window. And the Church must now decide whether to walk through it, or seal it shut again. 5. Voices of the Underground. In an unmarked chapel outside the Fuzhou city limits, 87-year-old Sister Mei Rong weeps. She remembers being arrested in 1966 during the Cultural Revolution for refusing to renounce the Pope. She remembers sleeping on a prison floor for 3 winters. Now she lights incense and says, Sister Mei, when Bishop Lin speaks, I hear Peter's voice. It has been a long time. But heaven remembers. Meanwhile, Father Chen, a young underground priest, leads a group of students through RCIA classes in secret. For them, Lin's recognition is a sign of hope, that fidelity is not forgotten. Father Chen. We are born into obedience, trained in endurance, and now, perhaps, called into light. 6. The controversy ignites. In Rome, the appointment does not go unchallenged. Cardinal Emile Rossetti, a conservative prelate from Poland, questions the move. Rossetti, we are legitimizing communist interference. What becomes of martyrs if we shake hands with their jailers? But Cardinal Sergio Muñoz of Brazil counters. Muñoz, dialogue is not surrender. It is sacrifice. It is the imitation of Christ, who did not avoid sinners, but sat at their tables. Online, Catholic forums ignite with debates. Some call Leo XIV a reformer in the tradition of Paul VI. Others say he's too soft, too quick to appease global power. But in the heart of Fuzhou, Bishop Lin does not answer critics. He visits the sick, blesses the poor, prays with the dying. 7. A bridge between 2 churches. The ultimate question remains, can this appointment bridge the divide between China's 2 Catholic churches? Official church clergy, tied to the Chinese Patriotic Catholic Association, offer polite support. But in private, they worry about surveillance and politics. Underground priests, meanwhile, wonder if they will now be invited to participate in diocesan structures or left in the shadows. Archbishop Joseph Kai Bingrui, the head of the Archdiocese, issues a cautious welcome. We walk together, under one spirit, seeking unity not uniformity. May the light of Christ guide us. 8. The global response. Across the globe, bishops' conferences begin to take notice. Cardinal Dolan in New York issues a message of solidarity with our Chinese brethren. The Nigerian Bishops' Conference sends a letter, may the courage of Bishop Lin inspire persecuted Christians everywhere. In Manila, a candlelight vigil is held outside the Chinese embassy. Catholic social media pages light up. Hashtags trend, hashtag Bishop Lin, hashtag Leo for Unity, hashtag China Catholic Hope. And across cathedrals, masses are offered for the Church in China. 9. The Pope speaks. At his Sunday Angelus address, Pope Leo XIV finally speaks of the appointment. To the faithful in China, I see you. I pray with you. Bishop Joseph Lin is not merely an auxiliary bishop, he is a witness. A bridge. A brother. May the Church breathe with both lungs, east and west, and may peace be upon all who seek God in truth. The crowd in St. Peter's Square erupts in applause. 10. The path forward. The appointment of Bishop Lin is a turning point. It raises new questions. Will future bishops be jointly appointed or unilaterally imposed? Will underground clergy be legitimized, or phased out? Will Rome continue down this path if Beijing breaks trust again? But for now, one truth is clear. In the land of silence, one voice has been recognized. And in that voice, millions find courage. The appointment ripples across continents. The news of Bishop Joseph Lin Yuntuan's appointment as auxiliary bishop of the Archdiocese of Fuzhou did not merely echo within cathedral walls. It surged through backstreet chapels, crowded tenements, seminaries, and whispered house churches across China. For millions of Catholics who have quietly borne witness under tight government watch, this was not just a clerical reshuffle, it was a testament to resilience, dialogue, and the painstaking steps toward unity after decades of division. Within days, faithful in Fuzhou gathered discreetly yet fervently, lighting candles outside the cathedral dedicated to Saint Dominic, praying beneath fluttering red lanterns. Older parishioners remembered the underground masses, when priests risked imprisonment to hear confessions or baptize newborns behind closed doors. For them, Lin Yuntuan is more than a bishop, he is a bridge between generations who lived faith in the shadows and the hope that Catholicism may once again bloom freely under the open sky. Tensions beneath the surface. Yet behind the incense and celebratory hymns lurk sharp questions that trouble both Rome and Beijing. Can the fragile pact, born under Pope Francis and now nurtured by Pope Leo XIV, withstand the political winds blowing across China? Critics warn that the Communist Party still keeps a watchful eye on the pulpit, ready to clamp down at any hint of foreign interference. Underground communities, once the heartbeat of unyielding loyalty to Rome, wonder if they have been sidelined or absorbed into a state-sanctioned narrative. Bishop Lin himself is no stranger to this tightrope. Having once been consecrated clandestinely in 2017, he bears scars, literal and spiritual, of the underground church. His new role places him in an uneasy spotlight, loyal to the Pope yet expected to show prudence with local officials who still remember his secret ordination. Pope Leo XIV's calculated gamble. Observers see in this appointment Pope Leo XIV's steady hand, a shepherd inheriting a controversial legacy, yet refusing to abandon the hard-won progress that began in 2018. In quiet Vatican corridors, diplomats admit privately that the deal is imperfect, yet they argue that a fragile bridge is better than no bridge at all. For Leo, the first American pope, the China question looms large. He knows his every move is scrutinized by cardinals skeptical of any compromise with authoritarian regimes. His advisors whisper of the silent suffering of house church leaders still harassed by local security bureaus. Yet Leo sees beyond diplomatic chess. He envisions a day when Chinese bishops, priests, and lay faithful stand as one flock under Peter's successor, free to evangelize and educate new generations. Local testimonies, voices from Fuzhou. Inside Fuzhou's seminary, young seminarians prepare for final exams. They swap stories of Bishop Lin's unexpected visits, how he would quietly sit among them during morning prayers, correcting their Latin pronunciation or debating points of theology late into the night. Sister Maria Chen, a nun in her late 50s, remembers how Lin once hiked through rice paddies during a typhoon to anoint her dying mother when no priest dared travel. He is not just our bishop, she says with misty eyes, he is a father to the abandoned and a voice for the voiceless. China's Catholics, old wounds, new dreams. The appointment also reopens old wounds among some elders in the underground church who feel betrayed by the Vatican's deals with Beijing. They recall arrests, raids, and decades when confessing loyalty to Rome meant risking everything. Yet among the youth, there is a more hopeful vision. They dream of studying openly, singing hymns in Mandarin without fear, and one day inviting the Pope himself to walk freely through their parishes. Global reactions, from Rome to Washington. News outlets from Rome to Washington have dissected this event. Conservative theologians warn that the Vatican's handshake with Beijing could embolden further state control, pointing to recent unauthorized episcopal elections in Shanghai and Xinjiang as evidence that the pact remains fragile. Meanwhile, Chinese government spokespeople frame Lin's appointment as proof of China's religious tolerance. Western diplomats see it as another sign that the Vatican will not easily sever ties despite mounting geopolitical rivalries. What lies ahead? As dusk falls over the Fuzhou Cathedral, families gather for evening. Massachusetts candles flicker under statues of Mary and Joseph, reminders that in a nation where faith once hid behind bolted doors, flickers of hope now dare to stand in plain view. Pope Leo XIV's choice is not merely a personnel change, it is a gamble on reconciliation, a statement of trust in the slow but steady dialogue with a nation where spiritual thirst often hides behind ideological walls. For Bishop Joseph Lin Yuntuan, the days ahead promise both grace and great testing. In the eyes of believers, he is the visible sign that Peter's successor still watches over them, even from half a world away. In the eyes of skeptics, he is a pawn in a delicate diplomatic puzzle. But in the quiet corners of Fuzhou's chapels, he remains, simply, their shepherd. Finally, to my beloved audience, as you reflect on this powerful moment, consider what it means for the Catholic Church's mission in Asia, a region where faith and politics often collide. Do you believe Pope Leo XIV's path will unite or divide? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for deeper Catholic stories from around the world, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an unfolding chapter in our shared journey of faith. Stay blessed, and keep praying for the Church in China.